Hey, it's Tuesday Nights with Dr. Bruce. I'm your host, Dr. Bruce. I know you knew that already. I'm outside for a couple of reasons. One is that my son has some friends over, and I want to let him have friends over, so he's taking over the man cave where I normally do this. You usually see the ping pong table in the background. Now you see this my golf course. So I just got to tell you that I want to give you an update on my mom. It's real important. So while I'm out here and you get to hear the cicadas and all that kind of jazz, I'm going to let you know that my mom is in a really good place. She is at home. She has hospice coming in. I'm going to tell a story that she told us because I think it's important that you understand how incredibly gifted she is. So she's worked for the church, the Catholic Church, for 50 years, literally 50 years, okay? And hospice comes in and asks what she would like for this, and this, and they have a list that they have to go through. And I believe it's for Medicare, honestly. I think Medicare makes you do that. So even though this is a poor video and I'm outside because my wife is watching The Bachelorette, I'm going to get to that in just a minute. And my son is playing downstairs in my man cave. I thought you'd want to know the story. So Mom gets the hospice people. They come over. They're great people. She said they were wonderful. They were very accommodating. And she's doing very well right now, and I'll tell the rest of that story. But what they had to do is this checklist, and the checklist includes getting a non-denominational clergyman to come by and say some prayers with her. And she said, I think I'm covered. And the lady said, well, okay, but you can do this, and you can actually refuse it now and get it back later. And Mom says, I got it. I'm okay. I'm really, really covered. This is good. So basically it comes down to, all right, but if you want, you can say no now, and we can have, and Mom says, okay, let me tell you something. This was my morning. The bishop called me at 8 o'clock this morning, knowing that I would be up because I told him I would. My pastor stopped by an hour before you got here. When you leave, the Vietnamese pastor, who takes care of the novitiates for the convent, is going to stop by about 2 o'clock. After that, I have a call from my spiritual director, Father Bill, out in St. Louis. So what I'm trying to tell you is, it's covered. And the lady, to her credit, man, she was tenacious. She was like, no, now in hospice, we have to go through all of this. So, we have Catholic priests too. If you want a Catholic priest, we can have a Catholic priest stop by. And Mom's like, I probably know them. You know, I've worked for the church, literally the Catholic Church, the cathedral, for 50 years. And so all I can say is all of you out there that are part of her faith community and have been part of that church life, you've done it right, man. She is, she's awesome. She is well taken care of. There are people that, well, while I was there, literally stopped by, dropped off hummus because she thought, well, soft foods, maybe she can eat soft foods. Dropped off hummus and left. It was like, no, you're dealing with family. I'll talk to you when the family's gone. And just left, you know. And of course, my mom says, Navy wife. You know, the military wives are like that. They know what's going on. They're used to getting in, getting out. Okay, I'm just here for you. Let me drop this off. And they actually know that if you can't use this, it doesn't matter. Your family will. So let me tell you about Mom. She's doing very well. She's losing weight, a lot of weight. She figured out, like I said last time, that she could eat pickles. And she does. It takes her about 7 bites to get through a pickle chip. But she does eat a piece of sliced pickle, and it seems to do pretty well for her. She is slowly starving to death. To everyone else, that sounds horrible. To her, that sounds great because she says, I am in no pain. There's no pain at all. I have zero pain. When I sit up because of the incision, remember she had surgery a couple weeks ago. When I sit up because of the incision, I have a 3 for about 3 seconds. Other than that, nothing. I'm weak, but I'm happy. And I got to tell you, her mind is sharp, guys. I mean, she is doing really well right now. So those of you who are sending joy, love, and laughter out for my mom, thank you. She is delightful. She's still very much aware of everything that's going on, and she is not at all afraid, at all. She's more afraid that the people at Bingo aren't going to get the services that they should get than she is about her own imminent demise. So she does have terminal cancer. It's adenocarcinoma. It's everybody wants to give it a stage, but let me just say it's terminal. There's another gift that came along with that, and those of you that know her know that she knows everybody. And Mom had Dr. De La Rosa, who is a godsend, just a wonderful man. Dr. De La Rosa stopped by. Actually, he called, and he took her off of all. Everybody wanted to do more testing. You know, we're going to take you in and we're going to examine you. We're going to test you. We're going to test you. Everybody wanted to do more of that stuff. And once De La Rosa took over from the surgeon, remember the surgeon had it last, and then De La Rosa takes over. Once De La Rosa took over, he was like, no, I'm not going to have you do that. You're certainly not, I'm not going to allow it. So Dr. De La Rosa is not making her do any tests at all. He said, basically what we know is you have 0 chance of making it to Christmas. So my mom will pass sometime this fall, likely. We don't know. We have no idea what day. She's already, honestly, doing better today than she was, just 2 weeks ago. She eats very little, but she eats some. She can still drink juices. And so, and those of you that are bringing stuff by and helping out, oh my goodness. I grew up in Springfield. Springfield Catholic High School was my high school. My mom worked for the church the whole time. And I have to tell you, the people that are doing this with her are phenomenal. They just are. I'm going to see if I can get a little bit better light. I doubt it. It's late out here. It's, obviously it's 9 o'clock. So okay, so let me tell you why I'm outside. I got to say this one, and then I'm going to talk a little bit about some really cool science that's coming through. I just want to touch it. I did leave in the comments, I left a podcast that I would have you listen to about the first 5 minutes of. It's really worth your time. It's what they're doing with Alzheimer's and dementia, and actually mood elevation with exosomes and ultrasound, which is really, really cool. And I'll talk about that in just a second. So somebody in the comments below, please, in very small words, needs to explain to me The Bachelorette, because I don't get it at all. Every time I see anything with The Bachelorette and it's on, I find someplace else to be. And that's how you want to do it, right? Other people are allowed to watch what they want to watch. What is it about this show? These people are surprised when, hey, you know what, this person hasn't been totally honest, and what they really wanted was to get noticed for their music career. Was that hard for somebody to understand? I mean, I just don't get it. I don't get it at all. And when they say, well, you need to be totally honest with me, and then you hear all the time, I'm in love with you, I'm falling in love with you, and I have all of that. Somebody needs to just explain that show to me, because It feels like you're whoring out your emotions, doesn't it? I mean, it's just, anyway, I do my best, but I'm sitting there, of course, God forbid, getting some dinner, and this show is on, and I can't help but make comments. I mean, this should have been a one-time thing that people went, yeah, this is horrible, and it's all done. So as I fade to black here, because the sun has gone down, and you get a very nighttime view, let me very briefly touch on some really cool stuff that's happening. Right now, they're doing MRI. And it's on the podcast that I left you on the side there. So right now they're doing MRI, and the MRI are on your brain, and they're giving your brain tasks. And the tasks that you're doing, when you do a task in your brain, it lights up a certain area of it. And in doing so, what you wind up getting is an idea of where to put the ultrasound. And so then they put exosomes into veins. The exosomes go through your body. They find where the brain is being targeted with ultrasound, and the exosomes actually reteach the nerve cells and the links between those nerve cells and how to act. And you got to hear it. It's a really neat thing there. Hans Hansen has had this ASIP for a long time. It's the pain physicians, but it's a really good thing that they're doing out there. And then you also get to hear about a drug that they're trying to use for some kind of off-label thing. So I would say the first 5 minutes of that podcast was really cool. The rest of it's like, okay, all right, somebody else is being paid to do drugs, which is what we're trying to get away from. But here again, two things, main things. Mom is actually doing really, really well right now. Her spirits are up. She's doing fantastic. And thank you for hundreds of you that sent me messages and love and laughter and told me great stories about myself. Three things. Yes, I know I'm in the dark. That was the second one. I'm not going to talk about the Bachelorette at all. I don't get this thing. This is not, I don't know, just not my thing. And then ASIP. I really think you want to listen to the first part of that podcast. It is really cool, guys. So I'll be on the next time. I'll probably be in the man cave down below, so I'll be a little bit brighter and you guys can see me, but at least you got the voice. And thanks again for keeping up with it. Thank you for asking. A lot of people asking, how's your mom? How's your mom? I really do honor that. I cherish that, guys. So thank you very much for being that for me. In the meantime, I'll see you next Tuesday. Be an example of what's possible.